Walter Becker was never the loudest voice in the room, nor did he seek the spotlight. But his influence on modern music is undeniable. As one half of the genius behind Steely Dan, Becker helped craft some of the most sophisticated, genre-defying music in rock history. A master of irony, nuance, and detail, he co-wrote songs that blended jazz harmonies, rock rhythms, and cryptic lyrics with a studio polish that remains unmatched. His life, much like his music, was filled with complexity, quiet brilliance, and an unwavering commitment to artistic truth. Born on February 20th, 1950, in Queens, New York, Walter Becker's early years were shaped by the pulse of the city and the sound of bebop and blues. He began playing the saxophone before picking up the guitar, immersing himself in jazz, R&B, and rock records. After a brief stint at Stuyvesant High School, Becker eventually enrolled at Bard College in upstate New York, a decision that would change his life forever. It was at Bard that Becker met Donald Fagen, a fellow music obsessive with a cynical sense of humor and a deep love for jazz. The two bonded instantly over shared musical interests and a mutual disdain for mainstream conventions. What started as jam sessions and oddball compositions would eventually become one of the most prolific and innovative songwriting partnerships of the 20th century. Together, Becker and Fagen moved to New York City and worked as staff songwriters before forming Steely Dan in 1972. With Becker handling bass and guitar duties and co-writing nearly every song with Fagen, Steely Dan quickly became known for their intellectual lyrics, jazz-infused arrangements, and obsessive studio perfectionism. Unlike many of their contemporaries, Becker and Fagen were less interested in fame and more focused on musical craft. They recruited a revolving door of elite session musicians to bring their intricate visions to life. Becker's bass and guitar work, often understated, was essential to the band's groove and feel. His touch was precise, cool, and always intentional. But more than a player, Becker was a storyteller. With Fagen, he co-penned lyrics that explored dark corners of the American psyche, tales of addiction, failed dreams, sleazy characters, and existential dread, all wrapped in smooth, catchy melodies. Albums like Pretzel Logic, The Royal Scam, Katie Lied, and the legendary Aya showcased Becker's growing influence, both musically and thematically. But behind the scenes, Becker faced personal struggles. The death of his girlfriend in the early 80s, combined with legal troubles and battles with substance abuse, took a heavy toll. Steely Dan quietly disbanded in 1981 after the release of Gaucho, and Becker retreated from the spotlight. During the 1980s, Becker relocated to Hawaii, got sober, and reinvented himself as a producer. He worked with artists like China Crisis and Ricky Lee Jones, bringing the same sharp ear and perfectionist mindset to their records. Then, in the 1990s, Becker and Fagen reunited. The return of Steely Dan led to a new era of critical and commercial success, culminating in the 2000 release of Two Against Nature, which won 4 Grammy Awards, including Album of the Year. Becker's 1994 solo album, 11 Tracks of Whack, gave fans a deeper look at his voice and vision, raw, sardonic, and musically adventurous. It was a reminder that behind the Steely Dan mystique was a man who had something deeply personal to say. While Fagen often served as the public face of the band, Becker was its spine, a brilliant craftsman and quiet architect of the band's unmistakable sound. Walter Becker passed away on September 3rd, 2017, at the age of 67. His death was mourned around the world by fans, musicians, and critics who recognized his towering contribution to music. Donald Fagen continues to tour under the Steely Dan name in tribute to their shared legacy, ensuring that Becker's work lives on for future generations. Walter Becker was not a conventional rock star. He was the kind of artist who valued precision over popularity, meaning over noise. His music didn't just entertain, it challenged, provoked, and lingered. From jazz chords to biting lyrics, Becker helped create a sound that was both intellectual and emotional. And in doing so, he left behind a legacy as timeless as any solo he ever played.